Chapter 2: The League of Nations and International Relations in the 1920s. Video 4, Unit 2.4. How successful was the League of Nations during the 1920s? Structure and membership. The League of Nations was established to maintain peace through collective security. It included an assembly, a council, and a secretariat. However, key weaknesses existed. The USA did not join, and Germany and the USSR were initially excluded. Decisions often required unanimous agreement, making action difficult. Early successes. The League of Nations successfully resolved several minor disputes. In 1920, it settled the dispute over Tashen between Poland and Czechoslovakia. In 1921, it resolved the Åland Islands dispute between Sweden and Finland. It also helped divide Upper Silesia between Germany and Poland. These successes were possible because major powers supported the decision. Failure in the Corfu Incident. 1923. When Italy occupied Corfu after a dispute with Greece, the League was unable to enforce its decision. Italy ignored the League's instructions, and the issue was settled outside the League. This demonstrated the League's weaknesses when dealing with powerful members. Humanitarian work. The League achieved success in humanitarian areas. It helped repatriate prisoners of war, support refugees, and it worked to control diseases. It also campaigned against slavery. These efforts improved international cooperation in areas that were not so political. The limitations of the League. The League had no standing army and relied on member states to enforce the decisions. Major powers were often unwilling to act. The absence of the USA reduced its authority, and the unanimity rule slowed decision making. Overall assessment. The League had some success in resolving minor disputes and its humanitarian work, helping to improve cooperation between nations in areas such as refugees, health, and labor conditions. It was most effective when dealing with smaller conflicts where major powers had little direct interest. However, its structural weaknesses limited its effectiveness in dealing with serious international conflicts. The absence of key powers such as the USA, the requirement for unanimous decisions, and the lack of a standing army meant it relied on member states to enforce its decisions. When powerful countries chose not to cooperate, the League was unable to act effectively. These weaknesses became increasingly significant in the 1930s, when aggressive actions by major powers exposed the League's instability to maintain peace.